Hello, this is Carolyn, and I'm back in the crapper again. And I hope that I can make this video and make it make sense. Um, some of you probably know that I put out ads occasionally that say something to the effect of, if you need an objective friend to talk to, if you're lonely, you just maybe have a situation you want to discuss with somebody who you don't know, or something to that effect, where if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. Bottom line, that's what the ad really says. Okay, and then you're thinking, probably, if you place that kind of ad, you may have the best intentions of the world, because you're thinking, okay, I know what it's like to be alone, to be confused, to just want some clarity, for somebody else just to listen to this and give me some input. And because if you give it to the people who already know you, your friends and family, they're probably tired of listening to it. So you want a fresh air, right? I would tell you, don't follow my lead. Don't do that. You get, and I hate saying a judgmental term like this, because I don't feel I have the right to say it flippantly like this. Low vibrational people, but you are going to get some of those. And if you tend to be empathetic at all, sometimes their stuff just sort of sticks right there in your head and you can't get rid of it. Okay, the kind of people that you get this weird kind, and I don't know, you guys can tell me if you've ever had this, the boogeyman kind. They got some stories to tell, and they're crazy and they're weird, and maybe they're not even in the realm of possibility or reality. Maybe they get a sadistic thrill out of scaring you, talking about what they might or might not have done, and makes you wonder if they got bodies in the crawl spaces. Yeah, you're going to get somebody who's scary like that. And you need to tell them, nah, I'm not listening to that. And remind them, because they think that, and sometimes they're calling anonymously, right? Or they think they are, because they got a Google Voice, or they've got a burner phone, or what is that one, text mail subscriber, or there's about a dozen other ones where none of them are really all that anonymous. You can hunt them down, and I'd suggest even recording it, but you'll get that, which is so horrible, because seriously, you think you're doing something to be helpful in your small way. I mean, maybe if you're like me, you don't have a whole lot of free money to be throwing out. Oh, but that's just another one you're going to get. Why do I, in this bathroom, I feel like I have allergies. Anyway, sorry about that. You're going to get people also who are trying to get some money from you. They're like, oh, I got a sad story. I can't pay my rent or whatever. And you're thinking, like, join the club. But they're going to want to try to get, you to give them something. You could refer them to churches or Goodwill or something like that, which was the best thing to do. But it is unfortunate that you really want to be helpful, and there's so many energy vampires and just plain sharks in the water. And the other ones that you're going to get when you put out there, call me if you need someone to talk to. You're going to get these perverts. And whether it's truth or fictional or whatever, they just want to tell somebody their exploits, whether it's all imaginary or it's all real or whatever. But they're probably getting in touch with themselves when they're talking to you. So I would suggest to not put those ads out there, or be really good about putting rules out there. Seems contradictory, doesn't it, when you say, I'm open to you and I'm not going to judge you, to have a whole bunch of rules? Well, you should really do that, though still have some, because you know, they just want to, there's enough people out there that just want to dump garbage on your head. And here's the sad part. If you have, and it seems like I complain a lot, I'm guilty of that, but there's probably only about 3 different people, but they're reoccurring. I get like the same 3, and they'll sometimes change their identities and come back a different way. You know, I guess it's flattering if somebody can dislike you enough to hunt you down for years just to play another game. But the sad thing comes in is if somebody calls you who you actually can have a good solid friendship with, but by the time these other people have completely burned you out, hacked into your personal accounts, took what little money you have left, or just burden you with all kinds of crazy stories and stuff, you know, 3 or more of their closest friends and the sad thing is mainly those people who are all big and bad in the stories that they're telling are so very powerless in their real life. But by the time they have burned out all your energy, a nice person calls somebody that you could really get along with, you're ready to hang up on them because you're just sure that's just another trick. But anyway, I honestly do not suggest, and I'm probably going to quit doing that, you know, putting those ads out there and saying, look, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. It makes me look too vulnerable. And unfortunately, we're living in a time where there are sharks in the water. Anyway, I have a cat that's knocking on the door. So anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, what's left of it. And if you ever see one of my ads and want to call me, or maybe send me a text first and let me know. Understand if I'm ever rude to anyone, it's probably because I'm burnt out. But I do still appreciate your call, so have a great day.